And just like that, I'm back. I thought, you know what, let me record myself doing a little car vlog again, and that I liked it. The people seem to enjoy it, so I thought, right, let me just do it again, innit? And today I wanted to talk about, if you're in that mid to 25 to 35-year-old range, yeah, I wanted to talk about how people just decide that you must get married, you must get a house, and you must have kids by this weekend or the world's gonna end. Obviously I'm exaggerating to make my point, but my point is, it's so funny that usually based on whatever their life experiences are, it could be older people, could even be younger people that don't even, you know, haven't experienced life yet, and they just have this idea that by these ages you have to do these things. My advice to anyone that's in this situation, that's going through it, where people are trying to apply pressure, just ignore them. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to these big events, whichever it be, whether it be a house or a wedding or to have kids, only you will be tasked with being responsible for them. Like, no one's gonna just say, oh yeah, here's an extra grand just to make sure your rent is paid, or no one's gonna say, oh, here's an extra £500 to just make sure that your car finance is sorted. Or like, people love to gas people up and make them get themselves into compromising positions, but they will not be there when shit goes left, and shit always goes left. Now obviously I'm not saying that don't buy houses, don't get married, and don't have kids, because it's always going to go left and you're not supposed to do none of these things. I'm saying do it within your time, as close as possible to the time where you feel ready and you feel comfortable and you think that this makes sense, especially to your long-term plan as well. Because I'll say it like this: I've been out and I've had a situation where someone said to me, yo Cam, you still with your miss? I said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So like, how come like you haven't had kids and stuff? And I'm like, because I got a shit ton of stuff that I need to do before I have kids. Now in that moment, what I realized is that me and that person has two different standards. That other guy was comfortable having a couple of kids, not being married, probably not, you know, buying his house and just renting and whatever else. Whereas that's not really my dream, that's not really my story. At the same time, I'm very aware and I understand that there's a half chance that I might not tick off every single box of every single goal that I want to. But what I do know is, the longer that you prolong certain things is the better, especially in today's current climate, bro. The last I checked, it cost about £1,200 to £1,500 / dollars, it's all the same shit, for childcare. Okay, so let's do maths. So it can cost probably, what, a couple of grand for your rent, mortgage, depending on where you are. The closer you are into inner cities, is the more expensive it's going to be. Childcare is going to cost £1,200 to £1,500 or dollars. So you're already looking at 3.5 grand just for childcare and for the mortgage or rent of your yard. Now obviously there's two types of way that you can, you know, do this thing. You could do the Superman thing, where you're thinking, right, all the wages, all of the bills and stuff has to come out of your wages. Or you can do what a lot of people do these days, which is you just pay what works in accordance to you lot's wage and structure. I just think to myself, I ain't gonna be doing nothing that, you know, I don't feel comfortable doing. Like, I'm gonna do all of these things, as I said, marriage, house and kids, in my own time. And look, sometimes, this is the truth as well, sometimes you get FOMO. Sometimes you think, fuck, like, well, it's another year, it's another 6 months, it's another 3 months, and you start wondering, like, yeah, but really and truly, am I actually gonna make it? And am I actually gonna get to do it, you know, on the timeline that I had projected for myself? And the truth is, sometimes it might take an extra 2 years, it might take an extra 5 years, and within that time, you know, for example, like my situation, I got siblings that have kids, you might have cousins that are getting married before you, and you got people maybe in your age range that have just, you know, got the first keys to their property and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so easy to just get distracted and be like, oh fuck, well, you know, I've just turned 30, so fuck, I'm just gonna do this. No, take time. Why are you rushing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?